that I smacked into them and they apologized for me and they're like, he's just really drunk.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, in a good way, I forget what it's like to black out.
Hello and welcome. My name is Jay, and with me today is my good old friend, Alexander Gonzalez.
Hey,
And please
I'm
remember
old.
that we are not game devs. I'm old too. How are you today, Alex?
I'm doing all right, Jay. I'm doing all
Uh,
right. How about yourself? How are you doing today, this week, this year?
Pretty tired, man. I feel like I haven't had a day off in a while, so today feels great. My first day off, really,
I,
truly a day where I had nothing to do.
you know
Feels
what
good.
sucks? When they fuck you over when they're like, no, you get a day off. And you're like, but wait, I'm still working 10 days straight. And they're like, no, but there's days off on your schedule. Check it out. And you're like, but because of the way the schedule works from beginning to end, I'm working 13 to 11 days straight. Has
Yeah,
that ever happened to you?
yeah. No, that's what happened to me right now because I was working at two different locations but the same company, and it was just all sorts of confusing. But that's not the work that we're talking about today. Today, we're creating something new. Every week, we're not game devs will create a new exciting video game idea that we have always wanted to play, but not have any knowledge or know-how to create the wonderful experience that are video games. Today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 177th IP. Now, I have been playing a lot of sci-fi epic story-based game between Mass Effect and Guardians of the Galaxy. And I've also been just playing lots of like Western style storytelling games in general, right? And I'm not saying that there are games that don't attempt to do this, because there certainly are games that do things similar to the idea I have. But I want to have a space like a space sci-fi story, but kind of more grounded, like Cowboy Bebop or like Trigun kind of thing, where like these planets are like more desolate, like Star Wars, you know, they're more deserty like, and everything kind of sucks. And you're just like this wanderer, right? But the
So
main,
what you mean is every planet is rural.
yeah, it's just everything.
That's all you got to
sucks.
say is because everyone's so spread out.
Yeah.
Everything's rural and there isn't anything close.
There's
So
probably,
every planet's going to have a Dollar General. And that's about it.
yeah, there's probably going to be like a planet that is like really nice, but they're very far in between. Most of the time, there's like one Coruscant for like 100 Tatooines.
Yeah. So there'll be, a hub planet that's very nice with a city and it brings in a lot of trade and jobs. And then there'll be other planets where instead of like there being high-end stores, there's more like a catch-all store with like junk parts and people have to fend for themselves.
Yeah, yeah. The whole real idea I have is when you have conversations in this game, you get to make a whole bunch of conversations. And the whole time mechanic of this game, like the way the time passes in this game and things that happen during these times or during the time you play this game, is all affected by conversation options. So the idea is you walk into a new town, you walk into the bar. The bartender's like, hey man, how you doing? Sit down, whatever. And then you're like, I need information. What's with the gang around here? It's like, oh, I don't know you well enough. We need to get to know each other better. And then like eventually you guys gain a friendship after drinking together for a while. But all of this conversation happens like as if you're watching a cutscene. And so you're like choosing these options, and then like it'll be kind of like a montage time skip moment where they'll like flow into different conversations to show that time's moving by. But it'll show them like drinking together over time, you'll pick like options during these cutscenes to say stuff. But it'll just move the cutscene along. You know what I mean? And depending on what you choose, the cutscene will dynamically change to how the decisions you make. But it's a literal, as if you're watching a movie or like an episode of Cowboy Bebop type of thing, where they're at a conversation having a long talk and they just skip through different parts. You know what I mean? And that's how every single conversation is going to go. And because of that, that takes time. Like that conversation took the whole day. So now your day is lost. And now you have to go to the next day. And if you want to follow up on a question, you could either go up to them and follow up, or you could continue doing the mission that you were sent there to do with the little amount of information that you have. But if you keep finding out information, you're losing time to go do the mission and have that window of opportunity type of thing.
So there's a mission that you play.
What do you mean?
So is the main gameplay loop the conversations?
I think that's what it is, but there is a main game where I think you are some kind of bounty hunter that's on the search for certain type of people or creatures or things.
So maybe instead of a bounty hunter, why don't we make this guy a broker? Like a space broker who makes deals and then makes deals happen. Because, I mean, he talks for a long time. That way it's like he gets sent to a certain planet and he's looking for certain rare metal that people said, like maybe a battle cruiser fell and people know about it and he's trying to like broker the deal.
Yeah.
But he drinks and like gets there early so he can make friends with everybody so he can get it done.
Yeah. And maybe he hears like of a transport between a pirate raider group that already got hold of the metals, and he has to figure out a way to take it back without getting in a fight or hiring someone to get in a fight for them.
Hiring someone to get into a fight, procuring 3 or 4 like barrels of rum and then trading off the rum, doing it that way, maybe alerting local police that are cruising by the planet that the pirates are hiding out there, so they capture him before they confiscate what he needs. He gets it from them. Like maybe there's different branching paths that he can explore that way.
Yeah. I also like the idea where, kind of like in Ghost of Tsushima, each side mission and each quest is like finished and ended as if it's an episode of a TV show. I kind of want that to be the feel of this, where each hunt will
why don't
be
we do it
an episode.
Like instead of like an episode, but like a hunt, why don't we make it more like the Twilight Zone? Because they're all different, unique planets. You know, we could sit there and just say like, on the outer rim of the galaxy 43320, there exists a swamp of noxious gases. And in that swamp, it is foretold that a battle took place, a battle so menacing that no one had survived. And deep in the swamps, there is precious metals that, if anyone were to procure, would make them very rich and have an instant army if they were so choose. And tonight we join our power broker as they procure this metal in, and then it goes from there.
I like it. I mean, we won't copy Twilight Zone 1-to-1 like that, but no. I like the vibe that you just
So imagine that combined with Star Wars scrolling text, combined with, you know, something else. We'll make it work. We will have inspos.
I don't think it'll be Star Wars scrolling text, but I like the idea that this feels
where you set the
like,
scene. Where it's not like you don't have to start from a beginning. You can kind of jump into the middle.
I think it'll be
feels like the middle.
Kind of like the Twilight Zone, where it's going to be like shot. There's going to be narration, but maybe it's like introducing the, you know how like in certain games like Kingdom Hearts or like Final Fantasy, they'll have like every time you enter a new land, there's a cutscene that plays, you know, and it just shows off different locales and stuff. That's exactly what we'll do. It just B-roll, and then it'll like be of the character walking into town, the broker walking to town, and start like looking for like a place to stay, and just it's like no text, it's like non-audible dialogue and like the closed captioning, and he's like just walking to his hotel, and then it's like starts the mission when he gets in, kind of like how Hitman starts. I don't know if you remember how Hitman starts, but Hitman does exactly that, where it's like the person in your ear, I forgot her name, it's like, Agent 47, welcome to Dubai. It like just shows Dubai. Your mission here today is to kill the president of the company. And that's exactly what it's like. You know what I mean? And we'll have like each introduction like that.
And that way, he's going to have a list of contacts, which will be like warm leads that he can follow up on, and then we'll see where the story goes from there. And he's an expert at doing all that. And
Yeah.
what would be great is maybe at the end of each thing, at the end of each mission, he takes one piece away from that planet to add as a memento for all his adventures.
Yeah. That in Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot does that, but he takes a plant from each planet that you go to and it puts into his collection. I think it's pretty cute. Anyway, I like all of this. I like the direction it's going. I also think that at the end, like, he doesn't just look for metals and like just collects ore. I think he also looks for artifacts and looks for like items of interest,
Whatever,
maybe even creatures.
Yeah. What people know this guy as is that whatever it is in the galaxy, in the universe, he can get it for you or find somebody that can.
Exactly.
So it's like whatever the clients want, he'll get, and he doesn't care what exactly it is.
Yeah.
To an extent. I mean, we're not going to do any kind of alien trafficking. I just want to keep it relics and things.
Right.
Nothing quite alive.
He's like a Han Solo, but a little bit better, kind of like a
Do you think this is getting too close to fucking the Mandalorian? Now that I think of it, no, because he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
we're doing a broker. It's different.
And I think it's also going to be kind of more like Nathan Drake in Uncharted, where eventually maybe there's something that you're hunting that is very like, that is like your ultimate goal is to get this one thing, whatever it is. It's like some magical item from some ancient race or something. And all this, everything that you're collecting are actually clues to get to this thing, but like the game doesn't tell you until like near the end. He's like, now that I found the sheet, the metal, that the precious metal he found is like the vibranium or whatever from Wakanda type of deal, where it's like really rare metal. That's what he wanted in the first place, to find this ancient race.
So is it just going to be talking then? Is that going to be the main gameplay? Because we have to make the characters very interesting.
Yeah.
The locales very interesting. And he's just going to have to do what he can to kind of, like, he's going to have to have some kind of like Tony Stark energy. You know what I'm saying? Like very, very charismatic.
He's going to be very like snarky and like kind of humorous, but like kind of brooding and dark at the same time. And I think, yeah, it's going to be pretty much just talking. Like, I don't even think you're going to walk around at all. I think you're just going to make a decision. Like, I feel like the game's just going to autoplay and you make decisions live as it goes. And you have a timer to do it. And if you don't make a timer, the game will kind of either choose for you or you don't do anything at all. And that also has wow, why can't I say that word already? Consequences on their own. But I think it's just going to kind of play like a movie, you know?
Okay. So it'll play like a movie. There won't be that much violence. I think, when he gets the chance, he'll shoot or he'll fight, and we should make him pretty confident in it. But no QTE. He just kicks people's asses when he needs to, or most of the time runs.
Okay.
Like if things get hairy, he'll flip over a table, shoot like the ceiling so something falls down, and then gets out of there. Like,
you don't want it to be like, choose.
He's not going to be badass.
You don't want it to be like, choose either to shoot down this cable or knock this thing down.
I mean, you could, but I find it ultimately always ends the same anyway.
It does. But you could like kind of manipulate what happens live as it goes.
That's true.
I
guess you could do that.
Like
slow
you're
it
doing
down.
Something.
Yeah, all of a sudden where it's like, you bastard.
Yeah, maybe since this is space, he has like some eye implant that lets him calculate things quicker or something, and that's like his.
Yeah. I'm so deep into Boruto. I'm like a Rinnegan, like a Sharingan.
Well, it like also works as a scanner to like scan metals and translations.
What if it's something instead of like an eye? I mean, you could do an eye, but let's just make it the brain, where all of a sudden his brain will go into overdrive, so he's processing everything faster. So then, so the world just goes slower.
Sure.
Everyone loves a good old time slow.
Is this dude thing human, or do we want to make them alien? We just never know. It's like a master
A
chief
humanoid
situation.
alien with cybernetic features where people are just like, what are you? And he's like, I stopped focusing on what I was a long time ago. I'm made for the job.
Sure. We'll go
So
with
people
that.
are like, are you charismatic because you're charismatic, or are you built to be charismatic? He's like, I don't know. I was charismatic at one point. Now I don't know what's what, where it stops and where I begin.
And the player learns quickly. Don't dive into his past very much. Otherwise, you're going to miss all your bounties.
Yeah.
These conversations take time. The more you talk about yourself,
The more you talk
time.
about yourself, the less you talk about other people. So if you want to be narcissistic, you're going to lose.
You got to find evidence, not talk about yourself, and just get drunk and just start talking about yourself.
So there are going to be fail states where you can just party and say F it and just
and
go
we'll have
out and
cutscenes
have
for
a good
all
time.
of that. For sure.
Okay.
Music.
It's whatever's playing at the different venues and stuff, and maybe like very mood setting music as like you're walking and whatnot. Because I imagine there's also going to be like silent scenes where when he's by himself, he's not talking very much at all because he's not talking to anybody, and not even any self narration. Maybe when he's by himself, he likes to be quiet because he talks for a living.
Yeah. And maybe I think there should be like a theme that plays before and after every mission. It's like just like a cool theme thing. And then maybe there's even like I want to have like an intro video that plays very rarely. Maybe it plays when you start the game. And then after every like major chapter, maybe every time something major happens, it's like breaks.
Do we also want there to be some comic relief in the form of a droid that drops off the relics and picks it up?
Sure. Maybe you even have a partner. Maybe there's like something that
I can't imagine a partner, for instance. No. Like I can't imagine like this person getting attached to anybody, but I imagine a droid who is actually like a small droid partner in a mech.
Kind of like in Jedi Fallen Order or whatever, like a little droid unit.
And the way I picture it is this is a little droid in a mech of a big droid, but no one knows that he's in a big droid until shit goes south and he gets destroyed. And as he gets destroyed, you see him just fly off, and people think that the droid's just dead and it's just him going off, and
like a little plankton that goes in like a giant droid thing.
Yeah, and then he flies off and he's like, mission went south. I was still able to procure the relic. And then they just buy another droid suit for him.
Let's say that happens like halfway through the game. Like you think there's just this mech droid cybernetic thing that's like humanoid following you around. He's like your assistant or whatever, but you don't know, the player doesn't know there's like tiny little droid actually, and that's really what it is in the brain center. And
the droid's like a little like kind of like chubby guy who's just there. Not what you expect.
Yeah. And then he comes out, it has a robotic voice the entire game. When it comes out, talks totally normal.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God.
Pricing. 70 bones.
70 bones. I don't know. So how long are we in this game for?
Let's say it's 16
hours. And how well is it going to look? What are we talking about here?
Fucking immaculate.
Immaculate. The best visuals to come to console, where you're going to determine if the person's lying by the amount of perspiration that their pores start to produce on the brows and upper lips as you see it happen.
Hear me out. Pricing.
You can see eyeballs dilate as you're talking to them.
Pricing. Free to play. Because it's not free to play. There's a subscription.
What if we make it episodic?
It is, but who develops it? We're jumping ahead. Netflix.
Oh, shit.
It's like one of the Netflix games that's going to come to Netflix's gaming channel on their like app. You know what I mean? Like they're doing that. I think this will fit. It'll come with your Netflix game subscription, the upgraded subscription that you need to have the games on there.
I see.
You cool with that?
Yeah. I mean, Bandersnatch was a thing. Remember how people got fervent about that?
Yeah, I didn't play it. Did you play it?
I did play it.
Was it good?
It's fun. When you're on the wave, it's a good time.
All right, Alex. Time to start your timer because it's time to name this game.
All right. Timer begins now. Star Broker. No.
Star Broker it is. Star Broker.
You think so? Okay, Star Broker at 16 seconds.
How about Cosmo Broker? Cosmos Broker.
Broker Cosmos, Cosmos Broker. Broker Andromeda. Broker Space. Broker's Expanse. Broker Space. Broker's Void. Void Dealing.
Pick one of those.
One of those. Void Deal, Void.
Cosmic Deal.
Deal?
Yeah.
Deal doesn't reveal enough about the game.
But you're making cosmic deals the whole game.
Cosmic Deal?
Cosmic Deal.
You think Cosmic Deal? For real?
I don't know. Yeah, something
Cosmic
better?
Deal for real? I'm trying. What's other words for space?
Space Dust.
Space Dust Dealers. Wheel and deal and steal and spiel. Space. What's this broker's name? Maybe we can just do that.
His name, no one knows, but he goes by the gold standard.
Stars offer.
You don't like gold standard?
I mean, gold standard doesn't we need to have something about space in the title, I feel like. And broker, but I don't.
The Star Standard.
Star Standard. Fuck it. Star Standard works. There we
Whatever.
go.
The Star
Standard in 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Star Standard is a game where you play as a broker.
The Star Standard.
The Star Standard is where you play as a cosmic broker.
No, his name is the Star Standard. That is what he is known as in this universe.
The Star Standard is a broker that goes across galaxies procuring ancient, illegal, sought-after items for clientele who can pay the price for the Star Standard, where every item is guaranteed to be in mint condition, working, and you always get it by the date you want it. You must go to planets, learn what the people know, not get caught, and get everything you need in the time allowed in the Star Standard.
All right. So, I think we have a game here. Is this a game you'd want to play? And is it fun?
Yeah, I think this is a game I'd want to play. It's a toss-up, but I think so. It's out in space. It's a good time. I like brokering stuff in space better than like brokering stuff in the middle of the woods with magic, if you know what I mean.
Should we have a filler episode where it's like a take on like a reality TV show where it's like, I don't know, like Storage Wars, but it's the Star Standard and he has to go and he has to like bid on these things, and it's like weird comical characters. Because like it's gonna be episodic, and each episode is gonna have like a different galaxy or whatever, you know.
We don't want to have an off episode. Let's release it as a bonus episode.
Okay.
Where it's like the broker's day off. And he goes and tries to grab his own shit. But everyone thinks that he's super cool, and then he goes and does something like that.
Yeah. Maybe it's like, you know how like
he gets a vault full of Beanie Babies.
You know how like Disney, when they get something that makes money like crazy, they just make random shorts and spin-offs about every little thing, like Mater's blah blah blah. Mater's da 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 da, the adventure of Mater's blah 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 blah. Like they do a bunch of these things. It'll be like that, where Netflix just starts using this character as like a weird, like there's like a washed down version for like kids.
Right. Or instead of a broker, he's a problem solver.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to play nice with him, he'll lend you his ball. Does that sound good?
All right. So are we agreed that Netflix will be developing the Star standard?
Well, we could shop this around. You know, there's YouTube.
Mm-hmm,
They're doing Pokemon Evolutions episodic series right now. There's Amazon that also has New World. Though? No, it's not interactive.
Because this is like an interactive storytelling video game. I mean,
what about Apple Arcade?
That's true. The only other people I feel like
developers
could do it would be like, you know,
publishers.
Quantic Dreams or like, I don't know, Don't Nod or Life is Strange people.
Is Quantic? I forget who's the ones that did that Xbox exclusive for a while. That was about that guy who can manipulate time.
The Alan Wake one? No.
Yeah.
I forget their name.
You remember though, because they had real life TV in there where it was so divisive, where people were like, I want to play a game, and then I'm sitting there watching a TV show, and some people were like, I like the break.
Also, I think the Until Dawn team, because they always get like A-list actors, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they have Hayden Panettiere, they have Ashley Tisdale in the most recent one, they have Sean Ashmore, they have like just random celebrities. Oh, I think they had Aaron Paul in one of them. So.
This would be good too if you were to go towards Disney and it becomes like the part of the series where the watcher just watches.
And with that, 177th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience I'll probably never release. You can write to @poundgames@gmail.com if you have anything to patch into the game you created today. Also, give us feedback. We're still learning how to make the show better, and your feedback really helps. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to back our ideas, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. If you liked our show, why not subscribe and give us all the stars on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Spotify, YouTube, and more. And if that's a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review the Star Standard, the video game we just created. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is J.E.
And here's AG signing out.
Thank you. And please remember that we are not game devs.
We are not game devs. That's us.
Another one for me. I don't know why it says that in the script. What is that?
I don't know. Another one for me. Another one in the books. We are not game devs. Go check it out on Patreon, Gmail, where you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Twitter, Stitcher, and more. Yeah.
You know what's funny?
What if in the one-off episode they encounter a Justin Roiland character? I'll bid higher than you. I've got all the money. You ain't got none of the money. I have all the money. I'll buy you too.
I don't think this is the first time you did Justin Roiland as a sign-off.
Is it not?
I don't think so. I think you've done this before.
And what's funny is I don't start off trying to do Justin Roiland. It just channels out.
That's
Mr. Meeseeks made such an impression on me that it's never gone away.
That's your default impression go-to.